Hi everyone, it's Maddie Calzon again with video number 6. It will cover the domain of number and operations dash fractions. It's cluster number 2, and we will apply and extend previous understanding of multiplication and division to multiply and divide fractions. We have 4 concepts for this video. Our first concept will be to interpret a fraction as division of the numerator by the denominator, solve word problems involving division of whole numbers leading to answers in the form of fractions or mixed numbers. Our second concept will be to apply and extend previous understandings of multiplication to multiply a fraction or a whole number by a fraction. Our third concept will be to solve problems involving multiplication of fractions and mixed numbers by using visual models or equations to represent the problems. Our last and final concept will be apply and extend previous understanding subdivision to divide unit fractions by whole numbers and whole numbers by unit fractions. So let's get started with concept number 1. Here for our first concept, we will be looking at the fraction. Here on our left, we have a fraction with the label numerator and denominator, numerator on top, denominator on bottom. And this concept wants us to understand that a fraction is also just a whole number divided by another whole number. So it's the numerator inside the little doggy house that I drew over here on the right, but divided by the denominator. So it's the denominator into the numerator right here. So 6 into 5. So I'll show this below with this word problem. It says Rachel has 10 pieces of candy. She wants to separate this candy into 2 groups. Write a fraction to represent the amount of candy in a group. So Rachel has 10 pieces of candy. She wants it into 2 groups. And it says find the amount of candy in a group. So she has 10 pieces and she wants to make it into 2 groups. So this would be the fraction. There would be 10 pieces of candy, pieces into 2 groups. So this is the same as solving for the amount of candy in each group. So 10 divided by 2, and that would get us 5, which is the same as our fraction of 10 over 2. So 10 over 2 is the same as 5, which is our answer because, or 5, which is our answer because we know that this is simply a whole number, this is a whole number, and a fraction is simply, like we saw up here, the division between 2 whole numbers, which we showcased by solving for the amount of candy that Rachel had in each group. Now let's go on to some example problems. I'm going to have you guys pause the video and work this out, and then we'll go ahead and do it together once you've gotten an answer. So go ahead and pause the video. Hopefully we have all gotten an answer. Let's go ahead and read the problem together and then solve it. So Isabella picked 12 apples and wants to separate these apples into 3 groups. So already I'm going to underline that. She has 12 apples. She wants it into 3 groups. Write a fraction to represent the amount of apples in one group. Okay, so she has 12 apples and she wants it in 3 groups. Now, due to the fact that we know that fractions are simply a division of 2 whole numbers, we know that this equals 12 numerator inside the doggy house like I was taught, and then 3 into that, the denominator. So 3 into 12 is 4, no remainder. So the fraction form would be she has 12 thirds apples, sounds sort of funny, in each group, or it's equivalent to 4, which we found by dividing this. Okie dokie, so now that that concept's done with, let's go on to the next one. Here on our next concept, we will be multiplying fractions by fractions and also multiplying whole numbers by fractions. So let's get to it. So we have 5 times 1/2. So I always like, if I have a whole number, to put it over 1, just to make it look like, just to make it into fraction form so we can see. it better. So when we multiply fractions, we know that you multiply the bottom times the bottom, and then you multiply the top times the top. So our answer would be 1 times 2 is 2. 5 times 1 is 5. So our answer is 5 over 2, which is an improper fraction. Since we know about our division rule, we can create this into a mixed number. So 5 in the doggy house, 2. 2 goes into 5 twice. Subtract the 4 from the 5 to get 1. So our remainder is 1. And we put that over our same denominator. So our answer is 2 1/2. Okie dokie. Let's go on to our next problem. So we have 3/4 times 2/5. Okay? So we do the denominators times each other and the numerators times each other. So we have 4 times 5, which is 20, and 3 times 2, which is 6, which can be our final answer. Or we can simplify it down, divide both by 2, because 2 goes into both these numbers, to get 3/10. But 6/20 would work as well. So now that we've learned this concept, let's go and do some example problems. So go ahead and pause this video and work out the problems on a piece of paper. Hopefully we all have gotten some answers for these example problems. Let's go ahead and work it out together and see what we got. So we have 2 times 3 over 7. So I like to put the 1 down here. So we multiply our denominators, and then we multiply our numerators. So we have 1 times 7 is 7, and we have 2 times 3 is 6. So that's our final answer for that. Now we have our 1 over 6 times 5 over 7. We have to do our denominators multiply by each other and our numerators multiply by each other. So we do 6 times 7, which is 42. And then we do 1 times 5, which is 5. And that is our final answer. Hopefully we got all these right, and let's move on to our next concept. So for this concept, we're learning how to multiply with mixed numbers. So first we have to make this mixed number into an improper fraction so that we can multiply. So, just as a review, which I wrote over here, we're going to show, or for some people who don't know, we're going to show you how to make a mixed number into an improper fraction. So our mixed number is 2 3/2. So to create this into an improper fraction, you do the whole number, which is the 2, times the denominator, which also happens to be 2. You get that number, which in this case is 4, and then you add that 4 to the 3 to get, in this case, 7. And then you put that new number all over your old denominator, which is 2. So 2 3/2 is the same as 7/2. So now that we have that, we can rewrite this problem as 1/5 times 7 over 2. We do our numerators times each other, our denominators times each other. So we get 10. And then we get 7. So our answer is 7/10. So hopefully we all understood that. Let's try some problems on our own. I'll have you pause the video and work this out. Hopefully we all got some good answers. Let's do it together and see how we did. Okay, so first let's change this mixed number into an improper fraction. We have 2 1/2. We multiply the whole number by the denominator, so 2 times 2 equals 4. And we then add the numerator to that number, which is 4 plus 1, which is 5. We put that over the old denominator. So we have 5 halves. So we have, as our new equation, 1/3 times 5 halves. We do our denominators times each other, our numerators times each other. So we get 5/6 as our final answer. Hopefully we got that one right. Let's see how we do on this next one. So we got to convert the 3 1/4 into an improper fraction. So we have 3 1/4. Multiply the whole number by the denominator to get 12. Then add the numerator to this number. So 12 plus 1 is 13. All over the old denominator, which is 4. So we have 13/4 times 1/2. We do the numerator times the numerator, the denominator times the denominator, to get our final answer of 13/8, which, in this case, because we have learned earlier that fractions are whole numbers divided by each other, we can solve this, or convert this rather, to get a mixed number since this is an improper fraction. So I'm going to erase some things so we have room. Let's do 13 in the doggy house, 8 on the outside. 8 goes into 13 one time, like that. 13 minus 8 is 5. We put our remainder over top our old denominator, so we have 1 5/8 is our final answer. Okay, so for our final concept, we will be learning how to divide fractions and whole numbers. So, we have this little acronym over here. It's this little saying we learn. It's same, change, flip. So, the first term stays the same. This sign right here, the division, changes to multiplication. And then the right term flips. So we're going to flip the numerator. What flip means is we're going to flip the numerator and the denominator. So it will now be 4/1. And then we just multiply like we would do with any other fraction and whole number. So we do 2/1 times 4/1, which multiply the denominators, multiply the numerators to get our answer of 8/1, which is simply just 8. Hopefully we understood that. Let's go on to some example problems. I'm sure you guys will get these right. Go ahead and pause the video and try it on your own, and then we'll do it together. And the hint in the corner right here, don't forget, it's the same, change, flip. So go ahead and try these on your own. Hopefully we all got some good answers for this. Let's work it out together. So we have to first rewrite our problem. So we have same, change, flip. So we keep this term the same. So we have 3. We change our division to multiplication. And then we flip the numerator and denominator for our right term. So we have 4/1 now. So 3/1, because any whole number over 1 is the same. So we multiply our denominators, multiply our numerators to get 12/1, which equals 12. So that's our answer for the first one. Let's see how well we did on the second one. So let's rewrite our problem. I'm going to rewrite it over here in the right with some space. We keep it the same, so 1/6 stays the same. We want to change our division to multiplication. And then we want to flip our whole number. And now, oh no, it's not a fraction. Yes, it is. You can make a whole number into a fraction by simply putting it over 1. So we flip these two to get 1/2. And then we multiply our denominator by denominator, our numerator by numerator, so bottom by bottom, top by top, to get our answer of 1/12. Hopefully we got all those right. Let's wrap up this video with an overview. So here's our overview. We learned so much in this video. We learned that fractions are simply just two whole numbers being divided by each other. So as you can see over here, our numerator goes in the doggy house, denominator outside, so our denominator is divided into our numerator. We also learned that we can multiply whole numbers and fractions. We learned how to do that. We put the 5/1, bottom by bottom, top by top. We have 10/3 as our answer, and we can change that improper fraction into a mixed number due to the fact that we know about this concept, which I don't have room to show you, but we've done it in a previous slide. Now we also learned how to change this mixed number right here into an improper fraction so we could multiply it by this fraction right here. Now I don't have room to show you, but we did learn that if you look in previous slides. And our last concept we learned was dividing fractions, as well as dividing fractions with whole numbers. We learned our handy dandy saying, same, change, flip. And I hope this video was helpful. Please comment, like, and subscribe. And thank you so much for watching.